If you're new to working out, or you're coming back after some time off, there's a good chance you're button mashing your workouts without realizing it. You're doing something every time you go to the gym, but you're not really sure why you're doing it, or if it's actually helping you make progress. And if you've ever walked out of the gym thinking, I worked hard, but I don't know if it mattered, then this one's for you. Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to structure a workout so every session has a purpose. In gaming, button mashing is a commonly used term for when you don't necessarily know the controls yet. You press everything, you hope something works, and sometimes you win by accident. This is exactly how a lot of beginner workouts look. You hit the leg press machine, then you grab some dumbbells, then you go do an ab exercise or two that you saw on Instagram, and then maybe you end your session with some cardio. Or not. None of this is wrong. It can just feel random. But here's the important part. If this is you, it doesn't mean that you're lazy or that you're bad at working out. It just means that you're early in the game and nobody gave you the controller layout yet. So let's fix that. Instead of button mashing, I want you to think about your workout like a planned build. Every session has a purpose and every movement has a role so that you can better work towards your goals. You're not trying to max out everything at once. You're allocating effort intentionally. Let's go ahead and look through what a sample workout structure could look like. First things first is going to be your warm-up. Generally speaking, this will be about 5 to 10 minutes in length, and the whole entire point of a warm-up is to get the chili hot. Think of this more so like a loading screen of a game before you're getting ready to play. So with this, you're looking at, increasing your heart rate, getting your body temperature up, getting the joints moving that you're getting ready to work out. And really, this is also a nice way to kind of prep you for the session ahead. With the warm-up, 5 to 10 minutes is generally speaking a really nice average to start with. This is something where my personal favorite is some kind of a light cardio to start off. So this could be exercise bike, treadmill, rowing machine, elliptical, you name it, just enough to start, break a semblance of a sweat. And then from there, you can go through some dynamic stretching if you want to. And what I also really like with this is the movements that you're getting ready to do. So whether it be a squat, leg press, lunging, pull-ups, what have you, it's a really nice option to take one or two of those movements really, really light and start working through some range of motion with those. Next up on this list is the main movements. So this would include things like squatting, leg pressing as well. Pressing, so think of bench press or an overhead press, deadlift, or this could even be something like a hip thrust where you'd have a weight across your hips, laying on the ground, drive your hips up, come back down. Really, when I say deadlift, I'm talking about a big picture hinge movement, and all three of these movements allow you to move a good amount of weight. So the reason these are called main movements is because these are big picture compound movements. So compound's a fancy way of saying multi-joint movements. So hips, knees, shoulders, elbows, all moving together. With the main movements, you won't need a lot in each session. Generally speaking, 1 or 2 is really nice to do that. If you've seen some of my prior videos, I've talked about push and pull splits. So for example, you could do main movements on a push day, could be something like a squat or leg press paired with either a bench press or an overhead press because it's a lower and upper body push. Something like a pulling movement could be a deadlift or a hip thrust on another day. So next on the list come your accessory movements, which we'll break these up into 2 separate parts here momentarily, but these will really help complement everything that you're doing from the main movements. These accessory movements will help you strengthen your main lifts, clean up any side-to-side imbalances from right side versus left side, and will help you round out your overall build. So we're going to look at these 2 separate ways. So I kind of break these up from an accessory perspective with big picture movements first to better help complement what we're doing in our main. So something like a lunge. This could be a forward lunge, backward lunge, lateral lunge, walking lunge. You get the picture, right? Step ups, so stepping up onto an object, stepping back down. You could also do this to the side as well too. Pull and or chin-ups. Now I know these can be the bane of a lot of people's existence, but this is even something where these can be substituted with something or assisted with a band or from the floor, things like that to help you better get good at these. And usually what I found with pull-ups and chin-ups is a nice substitute for that pretty much everyone can do is a lat pull-down. So both of these movements are technically a version of a vertical pull type movement. Lat pull downs, you can use a very similar grip as your pull up and or your chin up, just based on where your hand positioning is. You can also play around with how wide or narrow you go with your grip. What's also nice about your lat pull down and technically your pull up or chin up is you can go more of a neutral grip. So if you've ever seen a V-handle attachment at the gym, usually it'll be on the pull up bar itself if you have that option, but from a lat pull down, usually it goes on and it makes it a little bit easier. It's also a nice change up from your lat pull downs themselves. Rows are, you will go blue in the face with how many row options there are. In the up front, I'm a fan of more of a chest supported row where you can use a dumbbell in each hand with your chest on an inclined bench. Row your elbows to your sides, pull it back down. One arm rows are awesome here as well too, but you will be amazed at how many row options that there are. And again, the list continues to go on, but this is a really nice kind of big picture accessory movement to help complement what you're doing with your main lifts. And then part two for the accessories, I break these down into single joint or mainly single muscle type of movements. This would be more considered like your bodybuilding type style because it's more isolation. But again, these are accessories that will also help you bring up any right versus left size or strength and differences from the main movements. So with these bicep work, tricep work, quads, there's so many different options you can do with those. So like your classic bicep curl with dumbbells, you can do that both same time. You can alternate arms, hammer curls as well too. Easy curl bar. You see where I'm going with this, right? There's a lot of options. So ideally you can keep this rolling for a very long time. Tricep work, I'm a big fan of anything at the pulley system, especially with the rope attachment. So anything like a tricep push down, you could even look at an overhead tricep extension where you have your arms up overhead, straightening the elbows, coming back down. Those are all really solid options for the triceps. Your triceps are really important for anything pressing, right? Especially for upper body strength. Biceps as well too, mainly for pulling type movements, but again, also front of the shoulder as well. Quadriceps, so typically speaking, leg press will already do this from a mains perspective, but if you've ever seen like a knee extension machine, that's a classic example of working on your quads as a whole. Similar idea with your hamstrings. So if you have a knee extension for your quadriceps, usually either the same machine or there'll be another one where you can pull your heels back towards you. That's a nice way to work on your hamstrings. I will say this for pretty much anybody, it doesn't matter if you're starting off, if you're brand new to fitness, if you are just a regular gym goer, it has nothing going on. Technically speaking, you cannot be strong enough in your hamstrings. That's always a really nice even catch-all movement. And then also shoulders as well too. So think of anything lateral raises, front raises, even taking small plates, keeping your arms straight and kind of working kind of out in a V-type motion just for shoulder rehab or prehab. Really nice ways of doing that. Also rear delt flies where usually you'll be either bent over with small dumbbells and flying out to your side, or they'll have like the pec deck machine where you can reverse it and bring your arms back behind you to really work the back sides of not only the shoulders, but the shoulder blades and upper back just to build more resiliency. Those are also awesome if you're having anything shoulder problem going on. So with all of these movements, right? So how I'd go about doing these with the mains, generally speaking, 3 sets of like 5 to 6 reps is a really good place to start for any kind of a squat, leg press, bench press, overhead press, deadlift, hip thrust. That's a really nice place to start with that. In terms of your accessories, you're gonna look pretty similar, right? So again, starting off, 3 sets is a good place to start for most of these. So lunge, step up, lat pull downs, rows. I'd probably stick with about 6 to 8 reps over here per leg on this one. Pull-ups and chin-ups get interesting just because if you're not super strong with them yet, ideally you're trying to go as many as you can while leaving at least a rep or 2 in the tank, especially when you're starting off, because these are brutally effective, I will say that. Lat pull-downs and rows, upper body movements, again, 3 sets. Probably you're looking somewhere in the 8 to 12 rep range on those, just to start to build overall muscle size and muscle strength. And then for your accessories, so similar idea. Again, if we're starting off, 3 sets is a nice place to start. And pretty much for all of these, so biceps, triceps, quads, calves as well too. I know that could be something like your basic calf raise is a really nice place to start there. Hamstrings, shoulders. A very broad generalization here. 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. especially for the calves. Yes, you can go higher, but again, if we're starting off with this or if we're coming back after time off, easy does it first. You always, always, always have room for progress. So once we're done with accessory work, that's where core work or trunk work and conditioning slash cardio come into play. So core or trunk work is going to build the fronts, the sides, and especially the back along your spine, building both resilience and durability there. And then conditioning is a really great way to help improve your stamina and endurance, especially if you're getting more winded with day-to-day activities. It's a wonderful opportunity to start adding in. And also, last time I checked, you have a heart and lungs, so you might as well use them, right? So with both of these, you do not, I repeat, you do not have to destroy yourself with these. So when it comes to core work, generally speaking, you can look at this either from a time perspective or for reps. So for example, a plank is a classic option, whether it be hands on the ground, forearms on the ground. Heck, you could even start with your hands up on an elevated surface like your stairs at home, on a workout bench, etc. If you're doing a plank, a nice place to start or at least shoot for is upwards of 30 to 60 seconds. If you're doing something like crunches or sit-ups or hanging knee raises or Russian twists, a really nice place to start there is like 10 to 12 reps per side. Similar to what we've talked about accessories and main movements, the sets you're looking to do is probably around 2 to 3 in that case. And then for conditioning or cardio, this is something where really I would suggest picking your favorite option in the upfront. So whether it be walking, jogging, biking, erging, stair stepper, elliptical, you name it. But simplest way starting off here is, again, putting that at the end, because you don't want to do this at the very beginning because it'll fatigue you out. So simple way of starting with conditioning as well is maybe just a 10-minute ender at the end of the session, especially if you've already got 30 to 45 minutes already in there, depending on the time you're looking at. What I really like, especially not even at the gym, is for around mealtime, is after you eat a meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, however you structure your meals throughout the day, a 10-minute walk is a really simple way to start adding in conditioning throughout the day. And also that helps with digestion after mealtime too. And finally, we arrive at the very last piece of this puzzle, the cool down. Think of this as your save checkpoint. So this allows you to take a couple minutes at the very end of the session, generally speaking, maybe upwards of 5 to 10 minutes, kind of similar to your warm-up. And really this allows you to take the opportunity to slow your breathing down, bring your heart rate back down. So things like breath work, some light stretching of potentially tight areas as well. That's where all that comes into play. So really, if we're kind of getting into the nerdy realm here for just a minute, what you're doing with your cool down is you're pretty much tamping down your nervous system from being ramped up for the past, 30 to 45 minutes in that case. And really, it's a nice way to pretty much tell your nervous system, hey, we're done for the day, life is good, let's get ready for the next session, whether it be tomorrow or the next day. This is usually a very heavily skipped thing when it comes to working out. A lot of people will say they do it, but really they probably don't. So will skipping this make or break the workout? No. But is it a really nice way to get you ready for the next one? Absolutely it is. So when you structure your workouts in a fashion like this, you're going to start to notice a few things. You're going to stop guessing, you'll stop feeling like you're doing random things, and you're going to leave the gym knowing what you trained and why you did it. Progress will stop feeling accidental, and it'll start feeling more repeatable. And by the way, my name is Michael, the Pop Culture PT. I'm both a physical therapist and a fitness coach. And if this video helped you, you're more than welcome to keep following along with my channel for more workout and injury rehab advice to help you better achieve your goals. And I realize a lot of the info that I covered for today, it's a very broad overview of general workout structure, right? So if you have questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to let me know down in the comments or shoot me a message over on my Instagram. My handle there is the same thing as here on YouTube, @PopCulturePT. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.